Are you guys excited for Starfield? Let me know your thoughts on Starfield in the comments if you're excited and what you think about it and all that. And I'll share my opinion towards the end of the video. I was actually recording my opinion already, but it went on for like 2 minutes and I was like, yeah, it's too long of an intro. Let me just get right to the news for people and I'll share my opinion at the end. People are worried that Bethesda has lied about Starfield. We got tweets, we got Reddit threads, we got articles, the whole 9 yards. From PC Gamer, Starfield boundary reached leak leaves some worried Bethesda's planets have more limits than anticipated. They say, boundary reached reads an in-game Starfield text box that circulated online over the weekend. Open the map to explore another region or return to your ship. The biggest game of the year is springing leaks just days before release, the latest of which is creating some uncertainty about one of its most anticipated features, planet exploration. As collated by Kotaku, a boundary reached message appeared in leaked Starfield gameplay videos from both YouTube and a Chinese forum post that appeared over the weekend, both since removed, but surviving via archive, seemingly indicating that Starfield's planets aren't one continuous open world. In a time-lapse video, the player runs in a single direction on a planet for 10 minutes before reaching an invisible boundary. Possible restrictions on planet map sizes came as a surprise to fans who expected Bethesda's boundless RPG to work more or less like No Man's Sky, a space exploration game that continuously renders planets in their entirety as you walk or fly around them. We've known all along that Starfield's exploration would have some limits, like you won't be able to fly your ship manually into a planet's atmosphere to land, but Bethesda's hasn't been as specific about on-foot travel in official presentations. In a tweet from journalist Paul Tassi saying the Starfield boundary reach drama is very stupid, that's all I'll say. And a top response that says, it's literally being marketed as a space exploration game where you can travel and go anywhere you want. Boundary reached. And a screenshot here, Jeff saying, Bethesda DC Deacon Starfield game, when I land on a planet, will I be able to explore that whole entire planet? And Pete Hines saying, yep, if you want, walk on Brave Explorer, to which Paul Tassi responds saying, you're not understanding how this works. The article continues, we know from June's Starfield Direct that you can select a spot anywhere on a planet and land there. That's not necessarily contradicted by the boundary reached message, but it may indicate the game can only load the planet you're currently on in chunks. That's not how I assumed it'd work when Todd Howard said you can go anywhere in Starfield, but it would be part of the course for past Bethesda RPGs that load every time you enter a reasonably large building. The supposed limitation does, however, contradict an August 21st tweet reply from Bethesda's Pete Hines, indicating you can explore a whole planet after landing. Reactions around the leak are a mix of disappointment and acceptance, as well as skepticism that the leaks tell the whole story. One Steam thread with almost 200 comments includes several users wondering if people are misinterpreting the boundary reached message. User Tyrell writing, the photo floating around about the border was also during the tutorial period of the game. Bethesda has already stated the game opens up much more after the tutorial. And another comment from Andrian saying, the more I look into it, the worse it is. So there are invisible ways, and you are forced to go back to your ship to move to different chunks. And another quote from the user Katz. The scope of the planets in this game are too massive to worry about how far I'm tethered to my ship. I have more important things to worry about than to measure how many football fields I can run from point A to point B once exiting my ship. The article including that Reddit thread, and then going on to write, I can relate to that. While some have been quick to speculate that Starfield is on a collision course with the same expectations versus reality kerfuffle that No Man's Sky experienced at launch, it's worth considering that walking continuously across 1,000 barren-looking planets may not be all that interesting in the first place. I always thought I'd do more aimless exploration in No Man's Sky, but more often than not, I'd land in a spot, wander a few hundred meters, then fly somewhere else. Still, it always felt really cool that I could just keep on walking if I wanted to, until I did a lap around the planet and ended up back at my ship. It won't be long before we know for sure how it all works. Starfield officially releases on September 6th, but those who pre-ordered the $100 premium edition can start playing as early as this Thursday evening, August 31st. Quick side note about that. So the regular edition $70, the premium is $100, so 30 more, and I think it includes the DLC, which probably makes up in of itself the great majority of that price. So might be worth it to some people to get some extra perks, the DLC, and some early access to the game, so to speak. So yeah, if you're getting Starfield, let me know if you're going to get the premium or the regular, or what you think about the two in the comments, because I'm curious to see what you'll say about it. I'm still on the fence about which one I'm going to get myself. And side note to the side note, man, we're really in the day and age of $70 AAA games, like on a base level. Ugh. Back to the news. We've got Jez Corden here, a managing editor for Windows Central, responding to someone who was talking about the boundaries, the alleged boundaries, to which they say this is actually not entirely accurate. Someone facetiously, I presume, saying, of course it's not. To which Jez says, just wait for the reviews. The half-truths being spread are being done in bad faith sometimes. The person who Jez was responding to initially, since having deleted their tweet. However, the conversation would continue on with someone saying the leaked pic tells exactly how it's going to work. It's right there in the pop-up, to which someone else responds saying, is it the tutorial? Is it during an important mission? Is it on every single planet? Give me those answers if you can read that much out of a single screenshot. Now, I'm not going to show the leak because that's kind of asking for trouble, but it's very easy to find if you want to look it up online. Consider looking it up on your own, yeah, because like personally for me, I have seen it and there's not enough context. It also looks like a leak that may have come from like the alpha or something. Like, I don't know, it looks rough. Bit of comedy here. Everyone started to make fun of some hater after he made an argument that exploration is a lie because you can't land and explore gas giants. The tweet saying, you can't go to these planets because exploration was a lie. It just gets worse. This other dude's like, bro, it's a gas giant. Did you fail out of 5th grade? I can't land on the sun? Rip Starfield. The hype was a lie. Paul Tassi actually responded to that one too with a similar comment saying, they're gas giants. Are you also concerned you can't land on the sun? Wait a second. And then the OP responded to people too. Look at this. Those are gas giants though. Nowhere to walk. And this dude's like, why not? It's a video game with alien creatures and jetpack and spaceships shaped like robots. Why is the line drawn on gas giant exploration? It's a gas giant. You physically can't walk on gas. Never seen an adult so triggered over a video game before. Ready for another 100 posts bashing Starfield tomorrow. You can't physically use jetpack or make aliens into pets using mind control. But I mean, here we are. Someone posts a video. What would you see if you fell into Saturn? Dude responds, like ships don't exist in the game. Someone else is like, let's say you could take your ship there. Please explain to me what you think you would find. Imagine the plot twist if there's actually like a way to explore gas giants in Starfield though through some like technology or something. You can like harvest some special gas or something. Like that dude would get the last laugh on that one. Pretty funny stuff though. Now, on to some more news about Starfield. We got PC Gamers saying Starfield's design director says the game nearly had a voice protagonist, but they dropped it. It was a AAA thing. Press X to be sarcastic. I'm actually fine with this change. Sometimes voice protagonists are a bit iffy for me. Like, for example, Cyberpunk 2077, like V, I don't know. I'm like 50-50 on her voice. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I'm like, seems like it'd fit more in an anime or something. I don't know. That's not the best example, though. Like I said, there's plenty of times where I like her voice. You know what? I'll make a different example. Fallout 4's voice protagonist. There's a lot of the time where I hear his voice and I'm like, I don't know. No offense to the voice actor. Maybe it's just the direction he was told to go in. But sometimes that protagonist, man, that Fallout 4 voice, it sounds real rough. Actually, funny enough, the article says, in Polygon's recent interview with design director Emil Pagliaro, it was revealed that Starfield very nearly had a voice protagonist in the style of Fallout 4's Sole Survivor. In pre-production, the plan was to have a voice protagonist. We hired an actor, we got the voice, we listened to him, and we were like, you know what, this guy is too specific. In Starfield, you can make every different type of person. We realized that the only way to really do that and let the player be the person they want to be was to have an on-voice protagonist. And that's the main stuff. Let me know what you think about all that. The alleged leaks and the backlash to that, the comedy part with the gas giant dude, and this voice protagonist thing being scrapped. And like I said, I'll share my opinion at the end. So it's pretty simple, really. I'm excited for it. I'm optimistic for it, cautiously optimistic, because we're talking about current Bethesda, and current Bethesda doesn't have the greatest track record, but I'm optimistic in the sense where, for one, if it's a good game, a lot of people are going to be happy, so that's good. And I'm also optimistic in the sense where, like, if it's a good game, this might be a chance for Bethesda to get back on the right track. And I'd prefer that as opposed to Bethesda just heading down a bad road forever. So yeah, if it ends up like failing or taking like a year or so to get into like a decent place, I'll be like, yeah, it's typical for current Bethesda. But if it is awesome, I'm going to say, hey, I'm really happy. It's great. Good stuff. We'll find out soon how it is, man. That release date's coming up. And once again, also let me know if you're going to get the premium or the regular, because we have that like early access period and all that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you there and in the next segment tomorrow.